If trading feels hard right now, not confusing, not challenging, but heavy, there's a reason. And it's not because you're stupid. It's not because you don't get it. And it's definitely not because you're not cut out for this. What you're feeling is something almost every real trader goes through, but very few people explain honestly. There's a stage in trading where nothing feels exciting anymore. Wins don't feel good, losses feel personal, and every chart feels like a quiet accusation. This is the phase where trading stops being a game and starts becoming psychological work. And that's why it feels harder than ever. Early on, trading feels simple: indicators, setups, rules. But now you know too much to be naive and not enough to be consistent. This gap between knowing and executing is where most traders struggle the most. Not because they lack skill, but because execution exposes the mind. At this stage, learning more doesn't help. More videos, more strategies, more indicators. It actually makes things worse. Because now every trade feels like a test of intelligence, and every loss feels like proof you failed it. This is when trading stops being technical and becomes emotional. Early losses feel educational, later losses feel exhausting. Because now you understand what should have happened. You see the mistake, you replay it, you obsess over it. The pain isn't the money, it's the awareness. By now, you've invested time, months, years. You've told people you trade. Maybe you've proven you can win sometimes. So now there's pressure. Pressure to justify the effort. Pressure to not waste the journey. Pressure to finally make it work. That pressure makes every trade heavier. Confidence at this stage is unstable. One win and you feel capable again. One loss and everything collapses. That's not weakness. That's what happens when results start defining identity. You're no longer just trading the market, you're trading your self-belief. This is where emotional whiplash begins. Hope, doubt, excitement, regret, frustration, numbness, all in the span of a few trades. Your nervous system never settles. And when the nervous system is unstable, decision-making becomes inconsistent. That's why trading feels chaotic right now. Mental fatigue is real. Constant analysis, constant self-judgment, constant second-guessing. You're not tired because you're lazy. You're tired because your mind is never resting. Trading becomes something you carry even when you're away from charts. Social media skips this part. You see profits, confidence, certainty. But this stage, the uncomfortable middle, is where traders either quit or change fundamentally. This is where discipline replaces excitement, where patience replaces urgency, and that transition hurts. At this stage, strategy isn't the issue. You already know what to do. The problem is doing it under pressure, following rules when bored, following rules after losses, following rules when nothing is happening. That's not technical skill, that's emotional regulation. This phase is lonely. You can't explain it to non-traders. You don't want to talk about losses, and wins don't feel shareable anymore, so you carry it quietly. That isolation makes everything feel heavier than it actually is. At this point, doubt spreads everywhere. Your strategy, your discipline, your future. You wonder if others have something you don't. But what's actually happening is simpler. Your old mindset no longer works, and the new one hasn't fully formed yet. Think of this phase like muscle breakdown. It's uncomfortable because something new is forming. Your tolerance for boredom is increasing. Your emotional awareness is sharpening. Your risk perception is maturing. But growth here is quiet, so it feels like stagnation. Quitting becomes tempting not because you hate trading, but because you're tired of uncertainty. You want relief. You want clarity. You want to feel competent again. That urge doesn't mean you should quit. It means you're standing at a threshold. Most traders try to push harder. More trades, more risk, more screen time. But pressure doesn't create clarity. It creates mistakes. The traders who survive this phase do the opposite. They slow down. What helps now is boring. Fewer trades, smaller risk, more observation. Not to make money, but to rebuild trust with yourself. Confidence returns when your actions align with your rules. This phase strips away fantasy. It removes ego. It removes urgency. It removes the need to prove something. What remains is execution. And execution is where consistency lives. One day, without realizing it, things feel lighter. Losses don't spiral. Wins don't intoxicate. You follow your plan, even when it's boring. That's not luck, that's maturity. If trading feels hard right now, it's not because you're failing. It's because you're past the beginner illusions and inside the phase where real traders are formed. This isn't the end. It's the part where noise fades, discipline hardens, and patience finally starts paying you back. Stay steady, slow down. You're closer than it feels.